clever people, welcome to my review for Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo and the Two Strings is the fourth film from Laika. Laika has created such films as Coraline, The Box Trolls, and Paranorman, which I own because I absolutely love this movie. It's my favorite from Laika, and Coraline is a movie I really like, and The Box Trolls I do not like so much. I actually quite dislike that movie, and I think it is quite overrated. So, Kubo and the Two Strings I was very interested in because it was coming right after The Box Trolls, and from the previews, I did not like the looks of it. To me, the previews, one, didn't say anything about the movie, and two, just felt sort of childish to me. So, I was worried about that, but Kubo and the Two Strings does star Matthew McConaughey, Ray Fiennes, and Charlize Theron, so it has a stacked cast, and I don't want to say much more, but basically the basic premise is that it's about a young boy named Kubo who is sent on a journey with a monkey and a beetle-like man as he's trying to find out something. I don't want to say more because the previews didn't say too much, so however, when the reviews started flooding in saying that the movie was great, I thought, okay, I think that this movie will be great. And I can say that I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked it. And to me, it just further shows how Laika is slowly becoming a fantastic studio. I mean, they've had one miss, which was The Box Trolls, but besides that, they've been consistently hitting it. I mean, and one thing that they're always great at is their animation, because it's claymation, which is very difficult to do. It takes hours upon hours. I mean, if you think normal animation is hard to do, think about claymation, where you have to constantly just be changing small things to make the movie. I mean, it seems so difficult and something I would never have the patience for, yet they are able to make their animation look beautiful, and that is exactly what Kubo and the Two Strings has. The animation here is gorgeous. It looks amazing. The claymation, I mean, you can't tell that it's clay. Obviously you can tell it's claymation and you can tell it's stop motion, yet it feels so natural. It's really well done, and the voice acting from everyone is great. Matthew McConaughey, I mean, he has such a recognizable voice that when I found out that he was in this movie, I realized, oh wow, that was Matthew McConaughey, because he does not sound anything like he normally sounds. And same with Charlize Theron, and same with Ray Fiennes. That was a really well done aspect. And the dialogue and the script were also very well written. This is one of the best scripts I've seen all year, which is astonishing because with a movie like this, you have so much to do with the claymation. I wasn't sure what they do with the other aspects of the movie, but the writing in here is amazing. It perfectly conveys realistic dialogue, which is so well done. The action is also really fun to watch and really well shot, which is interesting. It's weird for animation to have well shot action, but this one definitely had it. And also, the world that they build is so great. It's a magical world, and it's out of here, but similar to Princess Mononoke, a movie I love, they do not feel the need to sit somebody down and force exposition down their throats for 10 minutes so that you can understand why this world is so weird and magical and fantasy-wise, you know? But similar to Princess Mononoke, it just shows what's happening, and then maybe it'll briefly explain it, but besides that, it just showed what was happening, and I love that when a fantasy movie can do that. It can just show the world instead of having to lay down heavy exposition. That's really where a film can become imaginative, and that is definitely what Kubo is. This is a very imaginative, very well-done movie. And also, it touches on some very deep themes for a kids' movie. It's actually, for young kids, this is actually kind of a scary movie because of the action and really the themes they deal with. This is a lot for a young kid about, you know, love and hatred and family. It deals with a lot, and that was really nice to see. Okay, now on to the bads. I do have only really two bads, which is the comedy. They are constantly trying to have really quippy comedy, and to me that eventually got too annoying, because it was like, okay, we're having this cool movie and comedy, and while it was slightly humorous, I wasn't constantly laughing at the comedy, and honestly, I think it had a hard time fitting in. A film that easily fit in comedy was Inside Out. Inside Out, a movie that came in last year that was constantly filled throughout with comedy, but it felt right to the movie. In this one, whenever they had a joke, it felt like the movie just stopped for that joke, and I had an issue with that. And also, there are a few questions I had that were unanswered. I don't want to go too much into them because I feel like I could spoil something, but there were just a few questions I'm like, why does this happen? How did this happen? And there were just a couple questions like that I had. However, this is a very, very good movie. Now, there is one more thing I would like to talk about, a positive, but I will talk about that at the end of the review. I will give my score, and then I will talk about what I wanted to talk about. So that'll be full spoilers. Only watch if you have seen the movie. Alright, Kubo and the Two Strings is a lovely movie, fantastic animation, great themes, and just an overall really, really good movie. I would highly suggest this, and if it hadn't been for the comedy, this could be in the top 3 films of the year. This could be above Civil War to me. This could be in my top 100 if the comedy wasn't so off. However, I do love this movie, and that is why I give it a 7.75 out of 10. Alright, the next part I'm going to have some spoilers, so just skip ahead if you do not want to hear any and you would like to see the movie, just turn the video off. Alright, so here's what I wanted to spoil. So, at the end of the movie, it does something that a lot of kids' movies don't have. Obviously, it has a lot of heart and all that, but usually in kids' movies, whenever they kill off a main character, they usually bring them back, either if it's fantastical or they just never really died. However, in this one, the monkey, the beetle, the mom, it's so many characters die, and I found that to be a fantastic aspect because they didn't feel the need to bring them back. Every other kids movie you would ever see would feel the need to bring back the characters that they killed just so that the kids walking out would be happy. But this movie did not do that, and I loved that aspect of it. And that is probably one of the best things about Kubo. This is a movie that is obviously targeted for kids, but there's so much stuff going on around it, and it's really, I feel like it's more kid-friendly, where kids can watch it, but it's more for adults, and that's the kind of stuff that Pixar produces. So if Laika continues to keep this up, we could have the next Pixar on our hands. Alright, that concludes my review for Kubo and the Two Strings. Again, my score was a 7.75 out of 10. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.